Welcome back to the Crypto's Key Conversation. We're going to quickly jump into CoinGecko here. We're currently sitting at a $2.2 trillion market cap. We were at a 2.18 just last night. Bitcoin sitting at 43,200. Ethereum sitting at 3,300. Binance Coin at 499. Tether's Tether. Solana sitting at 150. Cardano at 142. XRP sitting at 77 cents, battling within that 76, 78 range for the past few days. Terra sitting at the number 9 spot, 86. Polkadot sitting at 27, and so on. Market's looking pretty good. Obviously, we're kind of up. Let's look at the Fear and Greed Index really quick. We're still sitting at a 21. So as of yesterday, we were at a 23. I caught it at 21 though. But we've been in extreme fear for some time now, and in fear in general. So obviously, there's still a lot of fear in the market with, the FUD, the Fed, CPI stuff coming in, and just the uncertainty within the market right now. I want to come and talk about what John E. Deaton had posted. He has a nice thread talking about, the William Hinman Ethereum Free Pass speech and, Judge Netburn's ruling on pretty much saying Ripple has access to the drafts of this said speech. So coming in here, he says, why did the SEC choose XRP? If the SEC wanted to pick a top 10 token to go after, why would it choose the much more difficult case? There's a legitimate debate over whether today's Ethereum or XRP, the networks, not the token ownership, are more sufficiently decentralized. Coming down here, he says, but when applying securities laws to fundraisings, there is no debate over which is the easier case to prove. Ether held a pure ICO. Both Clayton and Gensler are on record stating they've never seen an ICO that wasn't a security. Ripple sold stock to venture capitalists, then sold XRP, but no ICO. He says, I said months ago that a monkey could prove Ether started out as an illegal securities offering. All you need to do is play video clips of the people responsible for the offering. Steven has described himself as the architect behind the ETH fundraising. So coming out here, Digital Asset Investor had posted Steve Narioff, early advisor to Ethereum founders, described how the SEC loved the idea of Ethereum being pitched as a product before the Ethereum launch in 2014. Let's take a listen.
But he said to me, the problem is our lawyers are telling us this is an illegal securities offering, which in fact it was. So I was charged with trying to figure out a very simple thing. Raise money and not go to prison. Right? Orange is not my best color, by the way. So we were... He held off, these guys are like wolves, right? I mean, the founding team of Ethereum wanted to move. And one of the guys actually even said to me, I don't really care about prison, I'm a Canadian citizen. And I said, and can we somehow say that this is not a security, it's not a currency, but somehow this is a good, maybe service. Head of the SEC, a gentleman by the name of Joe Grunfest. If anybody's familiar with the SEC, he's probably the most prolific chairman of the SEC of the last 75 years. And sheepishly the next morning said, I said, after our third drink last night, we came up with this concept, and I said we, because I didn't want to say me, and I said, can we say this is a good, because it actually forms some kind of function if you have to send it and you have to use this gas to send it. And I said, I'm sure it doesn't work, right? Okay, that's fine. And I got a pause for about 10 seconds, ready to say that was the stupidest idea I've ever heard. And his response was, that's brilliant. And said, I think that could actually work. He spoke to some folks at the SEC. They loved the idea. They thought that actually made a lot of sense. And that's the genesis of what's called today. Has everybody heard of what a utility coin is?
So that's, his own words and their own words right there. So then coming out here, he says, Narioff wasn't the only one worried about going to jail. However, Ethereum Joseph, so Joseph Lubin himself once said, we thought it was possible we would land at JFK on a certain day and the FBI would tackle us on the tarmac. He also talked about how the digital asset investor provided some clips about Vitalik Buterin discussing their intent on avoiding securities laws. So there was a video clip where he was talking about, where Vitalik Buterin was talking about setting up, shop outside of U.S. laws and outside of U.S. regulations to kind of avoid all of it. Ethereum co-founder left the Ether project because he was also worried about the very real possibility they would all end up in jail for securities violations. The SEC has officially made clear that the free pass came from Hinman personally and not the SEC. So this is where the whole ordeal is coming from. There's been a lot of movement over the past few days because of the ruling that had came out saying that William Hinman's Ethereum speech is his own personal opinion. In the whole entire video, I mean, he's pretty much talking about we, while he still has, the SEC banner and, logo and stuff sitting behind him as he's having these conversations. And not only that, there's been later interviews where he's being asked certain questions about certain securities when it comes to projects. And he's pretty much telling these people and these interviewers to, utilize the reference that we've already made. In turn, he's talking about his Ethereum speech, which we call the Ethereum free pass speech. So continuing here, Johnny Deaton says, in fact, Judge Netburn has declared that the issue is settled. Hinman's speech was only his personal opinion and not a declaration of the agency itself. What does this mean for Ether, if anything? Haley Lennon is an experienced securities lawyer involved in the cryptocurrency space. She recently tweeted out referencing some rumblings about the SEC thinking Ether is a security after all. So this is something that we posted in our video yesterday, because she noticed that there's been a lot of things kind of heating up within the space and a lot of talk that's been going on based off of just recent rulings. If the SEC believes ETH is a security, it contradicts what Charles Gasparino was told. If true, these rumblings magnify the conflicts of interest and appearance of impropriety related to the decision to file the case against Ripple and XRP. After 7.5 years of trading, why XRP? Hinman collecting $15 million while at the SEC from his law firm, a member of Enterprise Ethereum Alliance, the EEA, can't easily be brushed off as only retirement benefits, especially considering he unretired it and immediately returned to Simpson Thacher after leaving the SEC. The fact that Hinman is now a partner at A16Z with the same people who helped write the speech giving Ethereum a free pass, also members of the EEA, can't easily be brushed off as typical revolving door actions. This is a massive and gross appearance of impropriety. The fact that 4 months before filing the lawsuit against Ripple and XRP, Joe Lubin in Consensus announced the purchase of Quorum in the JPM coin can't be easily diminished as coincidence, especially after Lubin claimed Ripple and XRP were not competitors, which we've proven in our past video that it's clear that they are competitors, especially, they're attacking exactly what, Ripple and XRP attacking. The fact that Clayton's law firm, Sullivan and Cromwell, represented Consensus and Lubin and brokered the deal wherein Consensus bought Quorum in the JPM coin, a direct competitor against Ripple and XRP, can't easily be dismissed as mere coincidence. The fact that 2 months before the lawsuit against Ripple and XRP, One River announced $1 billion bet on Bitcoin and Ethereum, and shortly thereafter Clayton resigned before his term expired, and within weeks was hired by One River, can easily be dismissed as conspiracy. The fact that the Director of Enforcement, Mark Berger, who was also behind filing the case, left the SEC 3 weeks after filing the case to become a partner at Hinman's firm, Simpson Thacher, a member of the EAA, cannot be easily dismissed. The fact that Grunkfest pleaded with Clayton not to file the case because it would damage both innocent holders and the credibility of the SEC, as well as call into question the motive behind filing the lawsuit, can't be dismissed because Grunkfest is an advisor to Ripple regarding the case. Grunkfest can't be dismissed because, 1, he's an unpaid advisor. 2, he acted as a liaison between the SEC and Ether founders working to help Ethereum. So then he talks about read this letter questioning the motive and the mass exodus of the SEC leadership after filing the case. So as you can see, there's just a bunch of nonsense going on. And quite honestly, it's sickening that, to think that, do they think we're dumb? You have solid people out here like Johnny Deaton and, Fallon, James K. Fallon, and you have, Jeremy Hogan and all the other, YouTubers and people that, within the community that's been, surfacing all these videos and audios of their own words. It's just crazy how everything's kind of lining up and surfacing. So it's like, what's going on? The SEC is supposed to be set out to protect us as investors in the United States. But like, are you really protecting us? Are you hindering us from, achieving, financial freedom, life-changing wealth, our freedom and the ability to invest our money where we see fit. I don't know. It's crazy. So now moving on to the next thing here. Johnny Deaton tweeted something else. So he's referencing this part of this document here. It says the question of whether Hinman's speech reflected his own opinion or the agency's is settled. So he says, I realize this finding by the judge is confusing. Please understand it doesn't mean the court won't consider the speech as market guidance as it relates to the fair notice defense. This is more of a legal technicality than anything. Without this finding, the email would be privileged. So coming over here, we were talking about, William Hinman and his Ethereum free pass speech. So this is where he's actually having another conversation at Georgetown Law. And MJ Green, so we say Greenwood Holding Company, I had tweeted this, pretty much captured the text that came up from his own words, from his own mouth. He says, so who is this we William Hinman refers to here? So it says, we have expressed to the world that we did not view Ether as a security. So this is referencing his original speech where he says, where we sit right now, we don't view the need to treat Ethereum as a security. He said Bitcoin and Ethereum as a security. So that pretty much gave the market the idea that, hey, Ether and Bitcoin are good to go. So also within, this particular interview right here, he's telling, those companies that are set out to create their own token and, have their own use case. And he's telling this gentleman here, like, if there's any question, utilize, the speech that we have already set in place, which he's talking about his Ethereum free pass speech. So moving on here, I thought this was pretty hilarious. This is about crypto freedom. This talking about Elizabeth Warren and Gary Gensler, so I thought this was hilarious. This right here. Not a problem. Remember to put your money in Ether and be sure to watch the Lubin video so you can properly hide your bags. Too many little people from the middle class got into crypto way too early and are going to get rich if we don't shut this down. I thought this was hilarious. So coming over to the next thing here. So this is from Bank XRP. So there's been a huge stir coming up from this Nick Carter tweet here. It says, if you are in any way affiliated with Ripple, you've ever worked with them or taken money for them, you're dead to me. It's that simple. Their entire strategy is lobbying. A, to get Bitcoin and proof of work banned, and B, to get Ethereum branded as a security. Ghastly, people. So then Bank XRP commented, turning off comments to avoid criticism is pathetic. So then coming over here goes like another thread that's been happening here. So this guy, Peter, is responding to Nick Carter's other tweet here where he says, we are at the point where the government is teaming up with Ripple to create paid opposition research on Bitcoin mining. And then Peter says, gross. So then Bank XRP, responds to Peter saying, when you say gross, Peter, I hope you mean the fact that Nick Carter is spreading misinformation. So then Bank XRP had posted Green Eggs and Sam's video here where he kind of puts his own little touch on what's been said.
Gun against Ripple, he tweets. We're at the point where the government is teaming up with Ripple to create paid opposition research on Bitcoin mining. And he points to this report from May of last year that lists Adair Morse as one of the authors of the study, talking about high electricity use spills over into the local economy. And here it's in the financial support. It's disclosed that they get money from Ripple's UBRI. And see there, she is listed at the Department of Treasury, which sounds pretty damning until you actually do 1 ounce of research and you see that Berkeley Haas Blockchain Initiative is a 5-year partnership with Ripple, one that Professor Adair left months before the report was published to go work in the Biden administration's Treasury Department. She took leave and quit. So this is the same Biden administration that is currently suing Ripple to shut them down and give Bitcoin and Ethereum the advantage. So great theory there, Nick, but he doubles down on stupid and says, oh, and here's the punchline. People are dying because of $6 per month power cost, increase in power cost. That's what the paper finds, right? Well, you know what, Nick? $71 a year may not be much to a yuppie venture capital like you, but to people living under the poverty line, it is meaningful. And to sit there and suggest that these people should subsidize the externalities of the Bitcoin network so that you can rent seek on layer 2 on top of an inefficient layer 1 blockchain that's based on old technology shows what a complete pompous you are. Look at what happened in Kazakhstan. China kicked the miners out. Some of them moved to Kazakhstan. That drove electricity prices up. And then when the government shut off the internet, the Bitcoin hash rate dropped over 10% and the country descended into chaos. Okay, there are real world consequences to this, Nick, but you wouldn't know that because you don't even allow comments in your echo chamber. You are just a humanitarian of the year.
So yeah, I just quickly wanted to show that. So I wanted to end this here with this. I thought this was hilarious. This is by Stefan Huber. He says, since how long has this imminent breakout actually been imminent now? And I thought that was hilarious because there's some funny comments that came down here too. Says, any moment now. The crazy thing is, it really can be any moment. Keep us on our toes. And then down here it says, since 2018 weekly, you can read about it. Flip the switch. And then last one here is, someone will be able to answer that. I can feel it. It's imminent. I just thought that was hilarious. I love seeing the humor within the space, especially during these times of, the uncertainty of kind of, where we're going in regards of, time frame. But, all in all, just realize, we're early. 2.2 trillion. Obviously, you got ARK Invest Kathy Wood talking about 40 trillion by 2030. And then there's been a bunch of other price prediction. I mean, who knows where we're going to be? I mean, look at the growth we've had even since, 2017, 2018. There's been so much growth. The inception of Bitcoin in 2009 till now, like things have been happening so fast. So who knows, where this market's going to be. I just, me in particular and my wife and our family, we have high conviction on this space. And we truly see, the future for this, especially when it comes to, Ripple and XRP. That's our biggest asset, been, accumulating since 2017, held strong. We have high conviction that we're on the right side of the law and the right side of history. And it's just a matter of time before this so-called imminent breakout happens. But with all that being said, I just wanted to share my opinion on kind of what's going on within the space in regards to the Ripple and SEC case. But stay strong out there. Be safe.